came all the way from Illinois by train in a big wooden crate 13 years ago. A frightened black poodle, not yet a year old. She felt terrible in body and worse in mind. These contraptions that men put on wheels in contravention of that law of nature which holds that the feet must come in contact with the ground in traveling dismayed her. She tried patiently at all times to understand man's way of life, the rolling of his wheels, the raising of his voice, the ringing of his bells, his way of searching out with lights the dark protective corners of the night, his habit of building his beds inside walls high above the comforting earth. She refused with all courtesy to accept his silly notion that it is better to bear puppies in a place made of machined wood and clean blue cloth than in the dark and warm dirt beneath the oak flooring of the barn. The poodle was hand in glove with natural phenomena. She raised 2 litters of puppies, 11 each time, taking them in her stride the way she took, the lightning or the snow. One of these litters, which arrived ahead of schedule, was discovered under the barn floor by a little girl of 4, the child gaily displayed on her right forearm the almost invisible and entirely painless marks of teeth, which had gently induced her to put down the live black toys she had found and wanted to play with. The poodle had no vices that I can think of, unless you could count her incurable appetite for the tender tips of the young asparagus in the garden, or the black raspberries when they ripened on the bushes in the orchard. Sometimes, as punishment for her depredation, she walked into bees' nests or got her long shaggy ears tangled in fence wire. She never snarled about the penalties of existence or whimpered about the trials and grotesqueries of life with man. She endured patiently the indignities of the clipping machine, which periodically, in her maiden days, made a fool of her for the dog shows, in accordance with the stupid and unimaginative notion inherited from the drunken Romans that its most sensitive and intelligent of animals is at heart a clown. The poodle, which can look as husky as the Briard when left shaggy, is an outdoors dog and can hold its own in the field with the best of the retrievers, including the Labrador. The poodle won a great many ribbons in her bench days and once went best of breed at Madison Square Garden. But she would have traded all her medals for a dish of asparagus. The poodle I knew seemed sometimes about to bridge the mysterious and conceivably narrow gap that separates instinct from reason. She could take part in your joy and your sorrow. She trembled to your uncertainties, and she lifted her head at your assurances. There were times when she seemed to come close to a pitying comprehension of the whole trouble scene and what lies ticking behind it. If poodles, who walk so easily on their hind legs, ever do learn the little tricks of speech and reason, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a better job of it than man, who would seem to be slipping slowly back to all fours, in spite of Van Wyck Brooks and Lewis Mumford and Robert Frost. The poodle kept her sight, her hearing, and her figure up to her quiet and dignified end. She knew that the hand was upon her, and she accepted it with a grave and unapprehensive resignation. This, her dark, intelligent eyes seemed to be trying to tell me, is simply the closing of full circle. This is the flower that grows out of beginning. This, not to make it too hard for you, friend, is as natural as eating the raspberries and raising the puppies and running in the rain.